Hey Jeremy,
Family,
hey my
family.
brother,
How are you, brother
hey, how
Jonny?
are you? I'm doing great, I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Very happy to do this call with you finally.
Finally, brother. Finally, brother. This is amazing. Wonderful time to be aligned
Mhm.
with you, brother. And thank you for agreeing to come on. And
Of
yeah,
course, yeah.
yeah, such a blessing,
Hmm.
man.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let
Do,
people know, because like
mhm.
people, so many people have seen you, they've seen your works, they've seen your workouts, they've seen your influence when it comes to, this lifestyle that you're living today. And
Mhm.
just if anybody didn't know you right off the bat, if they'd never heard of you
Mhm.
before, how would
Yeah,
you describe yourself, brother?
awesome. So I'm Johnny, I live in Greece. I'm born and raised in Greece. Actually, many people think I'm from the US, but I'm actually Greek. And one of my passions and the reason that I created this account is to just help people, heal themselves, heal any kind of disease through natural methods such as fasting, the fruit diet, even urine therapy, which I speak a lot on. And, just help people understand more about their body, because I believe we live in such an intelligent vessel and we know so little about it. Not to say that I'm an expert, but I'm always, I'm a student of life as well, and I'm just sharing my experience through this page. So I've tested a lot of things on myself, and then I have used this page to just share my experience, and whoever resonates with it can just grab my content and apply it in their lives and just see, the results themselves. So yeah, that's it basically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that introduction. Just thank you for
Mhm.
also talking about how you're a student of life, a
Of
student
course, yeah, yeah.
a student of life. I love that description because when you're talking about these things that you've learned about your body through your
Mhm.
your fasting, through your own research and through your own trial and error, through your own experiences, your own learnings throughout your journey.
Mhm.
When did it
Mhm.
actually begin? Like when did your journey actually start, you'd say?
Yeah, it all started basically with fasting when I began to actually do it consciously because everyone is fasting, but it's not everyone does it consciously. So it all began for me like 6 years ago, I would say, when I started with 1 meal a day, and that was basically my introduction into fasting. I actually saw a person here on Instagram who was eating 1 meal a day, and he was, promoting that kind of lifestyle. Back then, it sounded also crazy to me because I was eating, multiple times per day, and it was just something out of the ordinary. But I just love challenging myself and experimenting with things. So I immediately just started with 1 meal a day, and the benefits I noticed were tremendous. And that's why I really want to speak on this, speak on fasting, learn more about it and just dive deeper into it. I started with 1 meal a day and then eventually, began fasting for longer, 72 hours, multiple days, even experimented with dry fasting. And it was just an amazing experience overall. Fasting provides so many benefits to the human body, and that's why I still do it to this day.
Beautiful. Beautiful, brother. Thank you for that
Mhm.
testimony because I can recall and I can resonate with you when it came to a lot of things years ago. I had
Mhm.
it was a short boxing career. It wasn't like a career with boxing. Like I wasn't going
Mhm.
pro or anything, but I was training, some years in the gym during college and right after college. And I'd be,
Mhm.
boxing heavy, working out, protein powders, creatine, and all of the things that I thought I needed to bulk up and be at my optimum level. So when it came to
Yeah.
working with your body over the years, did you fall into the same like protein programming or just different types of things that you tested before you
Mhm.
started letting go?
Of course, yeah. I'm a personal trainer myself, and I've studied. I've done lots of studying through like conventional schools, and they teach you a lot about nutrition, which I had to let go basically because it's all a bunch of nonsense now that I've experimented a bit deeper with my body. So I was also on the protein myth. I was consuming high protein, all these protein powders. I was eating 150 grams of protein per day. So all that was just excess as I look back now.
How
So
much did you
I
say?
was
Can you
just
say that again? How much?
one, yeah, 150 grams per day. So
Right.
that was, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, eventually fasting allowed me to realize that we don't need so many things, because the body can really do without all these protein powders. We don't need so many all these macronutrients that they teach us that we need, all these excess numbers, basically, because that's just corporations promoting their products, So that's, they have to make you believe that you need all these excess numbers. And I fell into that trap as well. And I had to do a lot of deprogramming, just let go of all these beliefs.
Yeah.
And yeah, I believe like if you want to be successful, especially with the fruit diet, you have to let go of the protein myth, because you will realize yourself also, if you do this lifestyle for a few months, that your body does not need all that protein. I believe 20 grams per day is more than enough. I've also read many books on it, and 20 grams, that's it. Like, that's what I've been consuming also for like the past few years. 20 to 40 grams, and I haven't seen that I need more of it. I still maintain my muscle, I still have energy, I still have strength, so all that, I didn't lose any of that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for your honesty. Clearly you still have
Mhm.
strength, clearly you still have muscle, and clearly, you still have all your wits about you. You don't look weak in any
Mhm.
sense of the word. And when it comes
Mhm.
to, the protein programming that you fell in as well as I fell in, what were
Yeah.
some of the complications? What were some of the sensations? What were some of the stagnation or even the constipation that you dealt with during the times that you were consuming differently? What were some of those issues like?
Uh, do, do you mean when I began fasting or with the fruit diet?
So before you began fasting, even before the fruit
Mhm.
diet, what were some of the
Yeah.
issues in your body that you faced, like some of the things that
Oh yeah.
that were
Yeah, yeah.
complications? Yeah.
So basically, I just felt bloated all the time, because I've been putting all these chemicals into my body, all these products that these industries make you believe that you need, and I just felt bloated all the time. I didn't feel the energy that I have now. Like back then, as I can recall, I didn't have that much energy. I didn't sleep well, so I had many issues. Um, I would say I was sick, even without me realizing it. So, and I just adapted to that sickness. And basically, with fasting, I realized, in what kind of degraded state I was living in, and how much better I feel now, with fasting and the fruit diet.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And I love the way that you put that, Johnny, because you said I adapted to the sickness.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I think
That's it. Yeah,
so many of us do that. Like we think
exactly.
that we normalize sickness, but it's actually an adaptation.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
our body has adapted to a state of degradation. Like it's adapted to a lower vibration, but we
Exactly.
see it as like this is normal. Like that was normal for me,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly, that's it. Yeah, yeah. There's many different stages of sickness, and like the average person has just adapted to one of them, and they believe that's the reality, But there's so many realities, and if you have never experimented with deeper fasting or even the fruit diets, you really don't know how good you can feel.
Mm,
That's what I realized. You have to let go of your programming. You have to let go of all the contradicting beliefs and just challenge your body. That's what I did. Just go ahead and experiment, and just listen to your body. Do not listen to anyone else.
right,
Just experiment and go based on your intuition. That's what I recommend for everyone,
right,
because there's so many realities we can experience, and you know you have to be open-minded if you want to experience all of them.
right, right. Great advice. I love how
Mhm.
humble you are. I love your humility, Johnny, when you're telling people like,
Mhm.
hey, don't listen to anybody. Like listen to your body. You're the one that has
Exactly.
to live with yourself for the rest of your
Mhm.
life. You're gonna be with your body forever. So don't even
Mhm.
listen to us. Like listen to your body,
Mhm. Mhm.
like,
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Your body is the best teacher. If you can pay attention to the signals your body provides, you can really learn a lot. You don't have to listen to anyone else because every human is different. We all have a unique set of beliefs and unique set of thoughts, our own personal life. So I can't really tell you what I do, and it can't really apply to your personal lifestyle. You have to find out what works exactly for you, right? But my advice, again, is just challenge yourself and experiment. I believe through experimentation, you will gain the most experience, and experience is the best teacher.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They say experience, the teacher experience, it's the only one that gives you the lesson after it
Hmm.
gives you the test. You know,
Yeah,
usually in
yeah.
school, usually when we sit down in class, we study the lesson and then the teacher gives us the test, right?
Hmm.
But in life, it's reversed. In life, first you get the test, then you get the lesson. Right. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly. Very right.
so brother, when you were talking, Johnny, about just the lightness or the feeling of health, the feeling of vitality in your vessel, what would
Hmm.
you say what became that new feeling? Because when you said something, you said that when you don't know how healthy feels, like you can't really comprehend how
Hmm.
good you can feel, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
What
Hmm.
was it like when you went on a fruitarian diet, when you started being fruit based and you felt
Yeah.
like you had never felt before? What were some of those things like?
Yeah, first of all, I just felt a lot more mental clarity, on the lifestyle. When you're not, when you're internally clean, your mind just works at a with much more efficiency. So that's the first thing I noticed. With the fruit diet and even with fasting, you just begin to clean from the inside out. And when your gut is clean, you're just mentally sharper.
Mhm.
Of course, I had more focus, more concentration. I felt more energy. When you don't pollute, again, when you don't pollute your body, when you're clean internally, you are able to experience your body's energy at a deeper level. And yeah, those were the main benefits. I also was sleeping a lot less. So on the fruit diet, I stopped. Like before, I was sleeping for 8 hours per night. Now I just sleep for 5 or 6, and I just find that I recover a lot better. And that's even if I train hard. I train hard every single day. I still sleep 6 hours, maybe 5 hours sometimes, and I just feel like I recover just
Yeah.
because I do not pollute my body, and I do not have any obstructions anymore, because when you eat the wrong foods, when you instill wrong fuel in your body, you just begin to create obstructions, and that takes away from your own energy.
Mhm.
With fruits, that's not the case, because with fruits, your body can process them efficiently. You eat them today, they're out the next day,
Mhm.
so they do not hinder your body at all. And that's why you begin to feel all this energy,
Right.
basically.
Absolutely. I agree. When you're talking
Mhm.
about experiencing and feeling your own body's energy,
Mhm.
how do you feel your own body's energy, like just that experience of your own body's energy versus the
Mhm.
the energy that we usually externalize, like the external energy that we seem to try to draw from caffeine or energy drinks or different
Yeah. Mhm.
substances on the outside
Yeah.
instead of the internal on the inside. How would you weigh those differences?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, in order to feel the internal energy, as you say, I believe you can only feel that through fasting. Because you basically get high on your own energy. You just feel this sense of lightness. You feel basically high all the time, and it's not the same energy like the one you would get from caffeine, as you say, or from any kind of stimulation, which begins to crash after a certain point. So your own body's energy, you just feel constantly energetic through the day. I've even had, when dry fasting, I even had sleepless nights, but I was just fully conscious, fully aware. I was doing work even at night. I just had this excess energy in my body, and that's how I realized, this energy is just it's ours basically, but we just hinder our body through so many ways that we do not allow ourselves to feel it.
Right. Right. Ooh, that's the truth. That is the truth. I did it for so many years, so that hits home. That hits home right there.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know, Johnny,
Exactly.
when you're talking, Johnny, about the sleepless nights that can come
Hmm.
when you start fasting, especially dry fasting, when you go
Hmm.
and you just completely let go of the obstructions and you stop sleeping as much. Some people
Hmm.
who are used to a sedentary lifestyle or used to putting themselves down with food and kind of used to like sleeping it off, as it were,
Yeah.
they can, I mean, it can be very uncomfortable to have
Hmm.
all that energy. You know,
Hmm.
it's almost
Hmm.
like a conundrum. It's like you've created a new problem for yourself. Now you're awake. You're
Yeah.
awake at odd hours of the night and you're wondering like, what do I do now? You know, so when it comes to having that abundance of energy, why for you did you have to adjust to that? Was that another adjustment to where someone else might go
Hmm.
crazy with all those
Yeah.
hours being awake? You don't seem
Yeah.
like that.
No, because I always had like a purpose I was following, back like when I was not sleeping, I just used to write or just study. I love reading. So that's how I usually spent all my nights. I just studied or I was writing my own courses, my own books. And I really found, that kept me excited. I just didn't look for sleep at all, to be honest. Like when I was dry fasting, I didn't look forward to sleeping. Basically, like a few hours of meditation per day was just more than enough. I used to meditate for 2 hours per day, you know, at different times, usually at midday and then 1 hour in the evening, and that was more than enough. I didn't need more. If you can learn how to recharge your body through meditation, you don't need all that much sleep,
No.
especially when you're driving.
Exactly, exactly. And so you were never met with boredom. Like it never, you know, the average person that is always looking, you know, for something to do or can't just
Hmm.
be with themselves. It sounds like
Yeah,
you're able to just be
that,
with yourself,
that's it.
like you're comfortable with yourself.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, that's the most important. Yeah, that's why I love the dry fasting experience because I love to get deeper, into myself through meditation,
Right.
through breath work. Even you just feel all these practices at a much higher level when you're clean internally and when you're dry fasting. So it's a whole other experience. That's why I say like everyone should challenge themselves to just to take up fasting as a lifestyle and just go to those depths eventually, just to have a contrast, just to have that experience and then have the contrast to see, your new state of being versus who you used to be. So that's very important. I believe the contrast part. Yeah.
Right. It's like A and B testing, you know?
Hmm.
Like A and B testing, you're
Exactly.
just having a contrast. You know, as you're talking, Johnny, I just feel like I feel like I'm talking to a scientist, you know, like a literal like I know you're an athlete, you're a trainer, like you do all this stuff with the body, but you're like a scientist in your own laboratory. You're experimenting, you're enjoying the process of testing and finding out. It's like, okay, this
Yeah.
worked, okay, this didn't work, let me do that again. Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You have to realize your body is your own laboratory. As you said, we are all we are basically a scientist, as you said, for our own body. That's why I do not like. It's better to find the truth for yourself by experimenting, rather than listening to other people's opinions. Like, don't even listen to my opinion. I just show you the path, and then you can walk on it, through fasting and all and the fruit diet, etc. But you will find out many truths about yourself and how your body works, and anything, anything about anything that you want to learn. Your body is the best teacher always. So if you can just learn how to listen to it, you will find all the answers.
Absolutely. I agree. You know, you remind me of Bruce Lee, brother. You know,
Hmm.
Bruce Lee would say a teacher is never a giver of truth,
Hmm.
but that they are a guide, a
Hmm.
pointer to the truth that each student must find for themselves, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
So just like pointing, you know, to the moon, but if you focus on the finger, you'll miss the moon. right?
I love that.
Don't focus on the
Yeah,
finger. Like, look at all the moon's glory. You see the moon up there? Like, don't focus right here. Look there, right? That's where.
I love
So
that.
I love how you do that for people, the way that you do it. And we
Hmm.
actually have some questions for you. One of the questions that we have for you in the comments here is from Ishan. They said, how did you deal with emotional detox while on fruits and fasting transition? And if anybody has any more questions, there's actually a little question bubble right there. If you want to put in some questions for Jonny, feel free to tap that little question mark bubble and put your questions in there. That'll be better for us. So if you can see this
Okay.
one right here. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so the emotional detox is a part of fasting, and even with a food diet, you will still feel emotions arising. Emotions are just stuck energy within your body because, and we've basically have gotten comfortable just suppressing emotions. You know, when we feel angry, we usually stuff ourselves with food. When we feel sad, we just drink like some wine or alcohol. That's what the average person does. So whenever you do such things, and we're all guilty of it, emotions begin to get stuck within your body. So these emotions will arise when you're fasting, and all you have to do is just sit with them and just let them flow out of your body. What I do is I just either meditate or I do breath work. You know, you just have to process them because they're unprocessed emotions because you never really process them. You just stuff them into your body, you know, and they were never able to be processed. So you have to go through them. Some people might have more emotional detox than others, but I found the best option is just to sit with them, you know, either through meditation or just breathe through them.
Breathe.
That's it. They're all just waves, emotional waves, and they pass. You know, it's not something that will stay with you for a long while.
Mhm.
It's very temporary, so just acknowledge it for what it is and let it be processed by your body.
Okay. So this too shall pass. Like, let it go. You know, it's not gonna be there
Just like
forever.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's good. So with meditation, breath work, these are tools that we can work with our emotions instead of like stuffing our emotions, instead of eating our emotions, instead of feeding our emotions. We're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, relieving our emotions. Okay.
exactly. That's it. That's the best way. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. And when you say like on your journey, which would you say was the most challenging when it came to fasting, letting go, when it came to just living a lighter lifestyle? Was it the physical aspect, the mental
Mhm.
aspect, or the emotional aspect? For you, which was the most challenging?
That's a good question. I certainly had a lot of emotional detox as well. Um, but I would say the physical aspect was actually the hardest for me personally, just because, especially when I was dry fasting for multiple days. This is not when you're just fasting for a few days, right? But when you go into a greater depth, you won't feel uh, like I lost a lot of muscle mass, you know, initially when I first began fasting and going into greater depths. So because I'm a calisthenics athlete, you know, that kind of hit hard for me. I couldn't do a lot of activity, and I love being active during the day, right? So that was kind of I had to really adapt and just find a way to use that energy otherwise, you know, not through physical activity. Because right now, you know, I love working out. I work out multiple times per day, but when I was fasting, I couldn't do that. I had to sit with my body and just allow, you know, the physical vessel to heal. Um, you cannot build your body at the same time as when you're detoxing, right? So there's a process of detoxification and there's a process of building. So when you're dry fasting and you're going into greater depths, I didn't find that I was able to use my physical vessel as much, you know.
Okay.
So I was more sedentary. Yeah. I couldn't train as hard. This is again when you're fasting for multiple days. This is not for, you know, 72 hours or less. That's perfectly fine. Like I've even had workouts when I was fasted 2 days, you know, even going into 72 hours. I've had strong workouts, but whenever you go into greater depths, that's where I found the most difficulty, you know.
Okay. So, you know, I like how you said it's kind of like what you put on your story today. I saw you put up something, Jonny, that said improve, adapt,
Mm-hmm.
overcome.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So
Yeah,
improve,
with yeah.
go ahead.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're going multiple days into a dry fast, you just have to, you just have to honor the experience and things. Even if you can't really push your body, just don't feel bad about it. Sometimes, some days you might feel weaker, some days you might feel stronger, but just let your body go through the detox process, and eventually you will be able to build on a better foundation. I believe that's why that's the purpose of detoxification, right? Where we're removing all the weak foundation that we build ourselves on. We detoxify our body, and then we are able to build back on a better foundation.
Okay. So it actually sounds like the way you describe fasting, it sounds like the way we build muscle, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like almost like how some people, some bodybuilders, they use the progressive overload, right? They don't
Mm-hmm.
just go straight
Mm-hmm.
to 350 pounds. They're not bench pressing
Of
that right
course.
out the gate. They're progressively overloading, like, you know, stimulating,
Mm-hmm.
simulating, and then they gradually increase and increase and increase to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of like the mental fortitude or the mental toughness that one can have when they fast for longer periods, those greater depths as you call them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the best way to approach it, actually. You don't just jump into it, the same way as you wouldn't lift heavy weights right off the bat as a beginner. Same with fasting, you have to let your body adapt gradually
Mhm.
and just, get comfortable with greater depths as you go, but do not go straight into it. That will be just a shock to your system,
Right.
and it will be very hard to endure. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you say you're not talking about less than 72 hours of a dry fast,
Mhm.
what would your example, just for people listening, of
Mhm.
greater depths? Because when you say when you're going to greater
Yeah,
depths, how would you
yeah, yeah.
describe for a person who's listening and they're wondering, like, what does he mean greater depths? Yeah.
Yeah, yes. For me, that was 7 days. That's my maximum when I did a dry fast. 7 days.
Mhm.
That has been the most I've ever done. But I'm looking to increase that eventually. I believe the environment plays a great role as well. If you find yourself in a natural environment with not a lot of noise, you can have your serenity, then it's even better when you're going into longer durations of fasting. But, currently I'm just living in the city. It's not easy for me to fast for long durations. I still do one meal a day currently, and in the weekend I might do like a 24-hour or 48-hour fast, but
Mhm.
that's about it. Your environment plays a huge role. So if you ever want to go to those greater depths, I believe like the best is to be in a natural environment,
Right.
you know, preferably away from the city.
For sure, for sure. That's a great recommendation, you know, great advice for people who are looking for
Mhm.
those, you know, and looking to go further, but they might not be in the environment that is like conducive for that
Yeah.
conductivity, you know.
Yeah,
So it's great advice that you
exactly.
say that, and it's amazing, brother, to hear you say, you know, yeah, you know, I did 7 days. I want to do more, but 7 days is my maximum. You know, the person listening to this is like, 7 days? What?
Yeah,
No
yeah,
food and no water for 7 days?
yeah, yeah,
Seven
yeah.
days? And they're thinking to themselves, wait a minute, how are you still alive? You know, aren't you supposed to die? Like, what? So when it comes to that programming, like, what do you talk? Would you talk about that programming of thinking that the body is supposed to just perish after 3 days?
Look, when it comes to programming, you have to analyze your beliefs, right? And find out if they're beneficial to your life or not, because many beliefs are not really ours. It's something we absorbed from others, from society, from television, from someone else. So when someone tells you that your body will die after 3 days of fasting, you really have to question that. Why would my body perish after 3 days, because all the scientific evidence shows that the body continues regenerating, like your cells are always regenerating day after day, you know, hour after hour. So there's no evidence that that says that you would ever perish whenever you fast. You know, your body is just continuously getting better and regenerating. So of course I had to remove these kind of beliefs myself, but what allowed me, I was always open-minded, you know, and I was seeing, like when I was researching more about this lifestyle, I was seeing people have done 30 days, you know, on just water, or 20 days on a dry fast. So that was, you know, so many light bulbs in my mind at that moment. So I really had to learn more about it, and eventually I just found out, you know, we've been lied to in many ways, and especially around fasting. There's a lot of negative beliefs that people have on fasting. Either they came through society, either they came through, you know, television and stuff, but you really have to go in open-minded and really research, you know, experiment with your body. There's nothing that could ever go wrong. But I also recommend, do not go into the fasting experience with all these negative beliefs. You know, try to remove negative beliefs. Like a negative belief would be something like, I will get weaker if I fast. For example, that's a negative belief that does not serve you. You know, it does not serve your body. So really try to pinpoint what these beliefs are and try to remove them or substitute them for a positive belief. You know, that's my recommendation.
Great recommendation. You know, like pinpointing it, figuring out like what it is, like where it is, and then just removing it or erasing it or replacing it, you know,
Replacing, yeah,
replacing it with a better belief that actually takes you further and brings out more of your inner potential, you know, instead of saying like what, you know, why can't I do this? Say, how can I do this? How can I? You know, how can I do this? So
mm-hmm.
that's a great point that you make, brother. And we have a question from Haruka. She's in Japan. Haruka is asking you, brother, she's saying, where do you get energy from? And what do you drink / eat in a day?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So regarding energy, I really enjoy, as I mentioned before, I really enjoy working out. So sometimes I might find myself being, you know, lethargic in the morning or low in energy, but I just, you know, push myself to just work out, move my body. And because you start breathing better, because your muscles begin to move, all that movement generates energy for your body. So usually we feel lack of energy when we're stagnant in the day. So I found that, you know, this is also the case when people feel that stagnation of energy, they're used to eat something, you know, to remind them of their own energy, basically. But me, instead of eating, especially in the morning, I never eat. You know, I just try to move my body, or I do breath work, stuff that accelerates the energy within me. You know, you do not let the energy get stagnant, because, you know, energy loves to move.
It does. It does. And our emotions are the energy in motion. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
the energy in motion. We're working with our emotions. And you remind me like you know Nabiha. You know Nabiha.
Uh, what is that?
You know
Sorry.
you know Nabiha, prophetess Nabiha. She
Oh,
reached
yeah,
out to
prophet. Yes,
right.
yes. Mubija,
So
yeah.
Nabiha would say the same thing that you said, Johnny, when it comes to creating your energy. That's what she calls it. You know, she gets up, she goes to the gym. You know, she creates
Mm-hmm.
her energy. She's like, I need to generate some energy. That's actually what she says. She's like, okay, I need to create
Exactly.
some energy. I need to generate some energy. Okay, let me go make some energy. Right? Yeah.
I fully agree. Yeah. I fully agree, because energy is always within us. You know, we can access it through other ways rather than, you know, just eating ourselves to remind ourselves of energy. You know, there's many ways. Movement is one of the best ways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with movement, we find more improvement when we embrace
Yeah.
that movement. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we have Nada. Nada is asking, what do you think about constant spiking of glucose when eating fruit, drinking juice, or smoothies?
Yeah, so the glucose won't spike as much when you eat fruits, like in their whole form, just because there's fiber in it, you know, and there's less of a glucose spike. With juices, there's a bit more, but again, if you drink your juices slowly, if you do not go, too hard on them, you won't have any issues. People have to, see eating as a meditation, kind of, just be aware with what you're eating, what you're drinking, try to be present and just do it slowly, and you won't find any kind of issues as that.
Okay. Slow and steady. Slow and steady.
Yeah. Hmm.
Awesome.
Hmm.
We have another one by Emor 466. They say, hi,
Hmm.
and thank you for your interview. Much love. I'm wondering how you feel about such things as bentonite clay and psyllium husk.
Yeah, I actually spoke about this on my recent course that I created on the gut detox. I find that they're very powerful, especially after doing a certain period of juice fasting, because you want to clean your body as much as you can through the juices, through rehydration, and then those tools can help remove mucoid plaque, and they can help you clean at a deeper level. I've done this cleanse myself, like you would be surprised what you will remove afterwards. So that's why I also created the course. Anyone who wants to look in the course, they can find it on my website, avatarjonny.com. But it's a great experience. Again, it's one of those experiences that many people should go through, because when you remove all this plaque out of your body, you just feel like a renewed person. It's a total different sensation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do find those tools beneficial if you use them properly. Yeah, bentonite clay and slim husk, they are great for people with constipation. Yeah, and they can be used for that reason.
For sure. And I mean, you feel like you have a new body, you know? You
Yeah.
feel like you have a completely new vessel. It's very, just renewed, refreshed, restored, reborn. It's like a rebirth. You're resurrected, right?
Hmm.
It's amazing
Exactly.
because another tool that I guess is not commonly known, some people they refer to it as the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Some people they refer to it as the elixir of life.
Hmm.
And some people they refer to it as Shivambu, in a very
Hmm.
reverent sense. So can you talk about this, this urine
Hmm.
fasting or just this urine therapy? Can you speak on this?
Yeah, of course. So urine again is one of those things that we have absorbed many negative beliefs about. But when you begin to experiment with drinking your own urine, you will just find again so many benefits out of the experience. There's well, I basically go through it in my course. Again, it's free for everyone who watches. You can find the course on avatarjourney.com. But urine is actually not a waste product. It's just a byproduct of your own blood. So when it is recycled, you can benefit from it in a lot of ways. First of all, it is a great solvent. So again, urine is exceptional at cleaning the body out. And one of the things that is a byproduct of that is just increased energy, and like better regeneration. I use it also because I'm working out. I use urine a lot on my muscles, like externally, and that also helps with muscle soreness. There's tremendous benefits out of the practice. So it can be used anywhere on the body, internally or externally. You can even do urine enemas, and it's a liquid that, in my opinion, it's the most powerful liquid available to us, even for hydration purposes, and even as a solvent for cleansing.
I agree. I agree. It's crazy because there are so many times where, like, even when it came to buying water at the store, I was thinking to myself, like, I'd rather drink my own water, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, like you have the ultra filtered, it's your ultra filtered water. It's coming out, it's ultra filtered. Like your body is the best factory, is giving you, it's like when you think about our design, just how we are designed, it's
Hmm.
amazing. It's
Of
amazing.
course.
It's like we literally have everything we need and we flush it down the toilet every day. Every
Hmm. Hmm. It's crazy.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even when I walk, because I walk long distance, I see water bottles on the side of the road where somebody might have like, urinated in a water bottle and like pitched it out of their car or something like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
they just you know, left the remedy is on the street, like the medicine is right there. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
they're like embarrassed. They really got to go to the restroom, so they just real quick they go in a bottle and they throw the bottle outside. And I'm like, you threw away the medicine. That was the medicine. Like that's what you need.
Hmm.
So when did you
Exactly.
start
Exactly.
this? I would love to hear, brother Jonny.
Hmm.
When did you come upon this urine therapy? Like when did it make its way to you?
Yeah. This happened when I began, like a bit after I began with the fruit journey. So, like 2 years ago, I would say. So, I've been doing urine therapy for 2 years up until now. And like when I saw it, I saw a person drinking their urine, on Instagram, and I was just, initially you're disgusted because you don't know, your mind is polluted with all this negative information about it. So the immediate response that everyone has, the average person has, is just they're disgusted initially, but as you begin to learn more about it, you realize what kind of a magical liquid it really is, and how much we've been lied to about it. So again, for anyone who wants to learn more, I have compiled multiple books. It's like 10 or 12 books on urine therapy, and I've compiled them all together so that anyone who wants to really learn, they can just access it freely on my website, avatarjohnny.com, and they will just be blown out. I highly suggest that everyone reads it after this because that's what I would love to, initially when I first started, I would love to have more information about it, because I believe every person must learn what it really is and use it in their lives, because it's truly beneficial in many
For
ways.
sure, for sure. Yeah, it was yeah, the more that I read about it as well, it removed a lot of the stigma because it's very stigmatized, you know, in the media, the programming in
Mhm.
movies and television and Hollywood and series and stuff, you know, they make fun of it. Of course, it's like, ooh, that's filthy, that's nasty, you know, don't get it on
Yeah.
your hands. But then
Hmm.
when I first saw an interview, the way I got introduced to it was a lady named Monica Schuett.
Hmm.
And Monica Stewart, she has so much energy, just an abundance of vibrancy, vitality. She has so much joy for life. I was
Hmm.
like, what is this lady on? Like, I want what she's having. Whatever she's having, I want to try it because where is this bliss? Like, where is this coming from? And
Hmm.
when I heard about what she was doing, I was like, huh. You know, I was like, what?
Interesting. Yeah.
You know, like my mind, it was like my mind was trying to figure out, like, wait a minute, how does that, you know, it was really trying to understand, wait, what?
Mhm.
That was the last thing I thought that she was doing. But then I met, you know, Martha Christie's book, like you said, these books, Martha Christie's book, Your Own Perfect Medicine. That's a great one. And
Of
John
course. Yeah.
Armstrong, you know, The
Hmm.
Water of Life, right?
Hmm.
And you read
Hmm.
about people healing, miraculous, just miraculous healing, and they're just using the water that's coming from their own bodies and
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
looping it, recycling it back in.
Hmm.
It's just
Hmm.
amazing. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. And I've really found out that there were, like, back in the day, in the early in the nine like 100 years ago, basically, there were many books written on urine therapy, and they're not mainstream anymore. But I found this, on some old websites, and I just started reading through it. People were aware of this, of this therapy. People knew about it, and they were using it in their daily life. Even if you ask your grandmother right now, any kind of person asks their grandparents, they probably use their urine in some kind of way. They used it on scars. They used it to heal, some kind of disease, and they knew about the healing benefits of urine therapy, basically.
Right.
But eventually, as people stopped using it, the knowledge was just lost. So I'm really happy to be able to still find books on it and try to um, bring this knowledge back into the mainstream. Try to make it mainstream again.
Yeah. I love what you did there. That's clever. Mainstream. I heard you. I see what you said
mainstream.
there. Bringing it back mainstream. I like that, Johnny. I like that. So, another thing that isn't commonly known, I guess, to most people when it comes to, different tools that we have, or just kind of going back to a more ancient style of living instead of the luxury that we have ruled as a
Hmm.
necessity. Sometimes we have
Yeah.
luxuries that we think are necessities. Like we think we
Yeah.
have to have a Tempur-Pedic bed, or we have to sleep on a mattress, or we have to sleep, with all of these pillows and all of this, these cushions, and the body must be supported in this way, or we won't get good rest. When it comes to sleeping on the floor, can you
Hmm.
can you talk about this as well?
Yeah, of course. Again, it's one of those things that you really have to question. Why do I sleep on a comfy mattress when, most of my ancestors used to sleep on the floor and they were just grounding, they were just having a better sleep quality when they were sleeping on the floor. So one thing that I realized when I started doing that, because as I said, I love challenging my body in many ways. When I started sleeping on the floor, I just realized that I have a much better sleep quality, and this is because your body is able to breathe a lot better because your spine is in a proper alignment on a flat floor, on a flat surface, and you start breathing a lot better through your diaphragm. And because you take better breaths, this allows for better regeneration, better recovery. This is why you need less sleep. And yeah, like in addition, another thing that happens is that your muscles begin to fully relax because when you're on a very soft surface, your muscles don't really relax during the night because it's a foreign territory for your body. So because you're constantly sinking into a soft space, you're not able to fully relax. Even if you're aware of it or not, your muscles never relax. But on the floor, when the surface is flat and hard, that's when your muscles actually rest. And this is why if you experiment with it, you will find that you will sleep a lot less. And it's also great for your posture. So I realized that it allowed my posture to, get back into proper alignment. My shoulders are back more. I didn't always have a correct posture, but sleeping on the floor is just basically like doing yoga
Yeah.
during the night, and it really helps with the posture as well.
I love that description. That's the first time I've heard that analogy. He says
Yeah,
sleeping on the floor is like doing yoga throughout the night. That,
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and anyone who wants to start with it, you can just use a yoga mat. That's what I use as well, and a thin pillow. A thin pillow is what I use, and a yoga mat. That's more than enough. Otherwise, if you do not use a pillow, you can learn how to sleep on your hand, just like babies do, on your shoulder. But that's a bit more advanced. I don't always do that, just whenever I don't have a pillow. But I use a thin pillow. Yeah,
okay.
it just makes things easier, and still you gain all the benefits from it.
Okay. So don't worry about yet, graduating to the, sleeping like the
Yeah,
babies do. That's advanced level. That's advanced level.
yeah,
Just take it slow,
advanced. Yeah,
slow, incrementally.
that's it. That's it.
Pro tips.
Yeah,
Pro
and
tips. I love this,
another
Johnny.
thing is,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, another thing is why people don't really experiment with it is because they feel pain initially, right? Someone might just go ahead and sleep on the floor today, but next day they wake up with all this pain. So this pain is good for you because it's a feedback for your brain. You have to realize that your spine was out of alignment. Your posture is bad because you're always sitting on sofas, you're sitting in chairs, you're sleeping on soft mattresses, and your spine is not in perfect alignment. That's why you feel pain when you first sleep on the floor. So you have to take that information and actually do something about it, right? Do not just continue going back to the soft mattress as you're used to, because you really have to correct the posture, and sleeping on the floor is one of the best ways to do that. I found like nothing really helped me more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Eventually, yeah,
Go ahead.
eventually you like after a few days, it usually takes 3 to 4 days, and then the pain just subsides totally.
Right. Right. Yeah, I
Hmm.
would I would be with my family. I have family in California, and whenever I visit them, now they just they know where I stay now. Like I'll just be in the living room on the floor, and that's where I'll sleep. But at first they were
Yeah.
wondering like where to put me. You know, they were like, oh, we don't have so much space, you know, around the house. You know, the children are in there. You know, my husband is in there, and we're over there. And I'm like, no, just give me. You know, I just need a little, you know, just a little area in the living room. I'm
That's it.
good. And she's like, what? Well, let me at least get you, you know, some pillows. I'm like, no, no, I'm good. She's like, what? Let me at least get you, you know, a sleeping bag or a blanket or, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, cushions and stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You know, like,
Exactly.
I'm good.
That's it. That's
And
it.
it took
Yeah.
them a few days to figure out like, okay, he's good. You know, he wakes up before any of us, you know,
Mhm.
I guess he's good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty funny, yeah. And especially when I'm traveling, I go into these Airbnbs and the host wants to show me the apartment and they just show me their beds and stuff. And all I'm thinking is, how can I remove them so I can sleep on the floor like a normal person?
Exactly, exactly. Like a normal person. I love this. I love this. So we have
Yeah, yeah.
another question here, a side question. It was based off of what we were talking about before on oral therapy, Shivambu. Luisa is asking, do you drink aged as well?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, when I first started with urine therapy, I only drank fresh. I never really drank AIDS because AIDS is far more powerful. So it's like a more potent medicine. It has all the benefits of the fresh urine, but like amplified. So it's an even more powerful solvent, and you can't really drink that much of AIDS urine all at once. Um, it's very cleansing for the body, and it comes with a lot of detoxification effects as well. So you really have to take it slow, and adjust to it gradually. But right now, I'm not doing the fresh urine anymore. I'm just doing the AIDS, just because I found that my body is hydrated enough already because I'm on a fruit diet and I've been drinking my urine for years now. So I find that my body is already hydrated and I'm only doing the AIDS now just to get more benefits out of it. AIDS urine also has a lot of stem cells.
Mhm.
So stem cells are basically cells that whatever your body needs at the time. So if your teeth are damaged, stem cells go into that teeth and repair it. That's how AIDS urine helps the body. So any kind of tissue that needs stem cells, when you incorporate aged urine, you really help that tissue heal a lot faster. So aged urine is a great medicine. And yeah, whatever urine I don't drink during the day, I always age it
Mhm.
for for later,
Yeah.
basically.
It's super powerful. You know, I have,
Mhm.
you know, there's just a few bottles I have that are aging right now in South Carolina. There's ones that are aging right now in California. You know, there's one when I leave here, they'll be aging right here in Texas, you know? So it's
Mhm.
like it's just super powerful and it's once again, it's perfectly structured for
Yeah,
your body because it came from
exactly.
your body, you know? It's perfectly
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
you. So, you know, it's so powerful and like you said, you know, take it slow with the age because I mean, it's super powerful. Like there's sometimes where yeah, you have to really take it slow, don't overdo it because
Yeah,
yeah, it's potent. It can be potent.
it's
But
very important.
everything changes, you know? Like I
Mhm.
remember over time as I started to cleanse and cleanse and I started to loop and recycle, you know, the
Mhm.
taste would change, the color would
Yeah.
change, and even the smell would change. Like the
Mhm. Mhm.
everything changed. It wasn't the
Yeah.
same as when my diet was before. Now it's just like coconut water or just like water, you know? Like
Exactly.
it can be just like
Yeah.
water. So it really allowed me to see how it was a reflection
Mhm.
of what I was putting in. It was giving
Yeah.
me that direct feedback of what was coming out. It
Feedback.
was letting me know, you know, like,
Yeah.
okay, don't touch this anymore. If it tasted really off, it was like, okay, whatever you put in, that's probably not the best for you. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly how you should see it. It's always a feedback, regardless if you choose to drink it or not. If you're disgusted by your own urine, you must know that there's something wrong with your diet. Even if you don't, if even if you never drink it. So you really have to understand that urine is a byproduct of your blood. So if your urine is disgusting, if it's smelly, if it's dark in color, you have to understand your blood is in worse condition. That's the reality of it, because urine is filtered blood. So that means what your blood is, urine is the filtered version of that. The medical term for urine is plasma ultrafiltrate. That means it went through an ultra filtration. So if it came out and it's stinky, you have to realize your diet is wrong. Something that you're putting in, does not fit with the human body. Or it could also mean that you're very emotional. So how your urine looks like and how it tastes can also do with your emotions. So if you're stressful, if you're angry all the time, that will reflect again in your own urine, because it's your body telling you, you shouldn't do that.
Right.
You shouldn't be this emotional. You shouldn't eat that food.
Right.
All these things. This is why I believe the body is just such an intelligent machine. If you learn how to identify these signals, you can really use them to heal any disease, to create like perfect health, and to live the best life possible. You really don't need anyone except for yourself. You really have to learn what this body is.
Absolutely. On all levels, on all levels.
Exactly.
It's so great to know as well those stem cells, like, where scientists are doing so much research on like stem cells, and we have this within us that can generate these stem cells that can go back in and heal anything that we need to heal. And they talk about how not only is it antibacterial, it's anti-parasitic, it's antifungal, it's antiviral, it's anti anything that is not you, like any foreign element that is not you, it is getting it out of you,
Exactly.
So it's amazing.
It's really amazing. Yeah. And we have it at our disposal at any time. So really, you have to learn. Anyone has to learn about urine therapy and just find a way to use it in their life, because it's truly the best medicine. When I first began with urine therapy, I also threw away all of my herbal supplements, because I just realized, all these herbs, urine just overpowers them. Urine has everything these herbs have, and it's even loaded with all these minerals and vitamins. So what can a herb possibly do for me, when I'm drinking my urine? And even for bodybuilders, bodybuilders take creatine. So creatine is found in your urine.
Wow.
You really have to, you don't even need to get creatine externally anymore. Your urine has it. So if you do urine therapy, you're getting creatine.
Wow.
Even sodium. So people are all about, what kind of salt do you eat and all of that. Your body just needs sodium, and sodium is found in your urine. If you drink urine, you do not have to take in any external salt. I've been without salt for 3 years now. Like, I've lost count. I don't need salt at all.
Wow. Without salt for 3 years? Woo! That's amazing. That is amazing right there. That's one of the most powerful, one of the most powerful things, one of the most challenging things for people to get rid of, like table salt, foreign salt, like anything to do with salt. That's like cocaine, That's like, it's crazy. Salt and sugar are the two main things like that are really tough for people to let go. And full disclosure, brother, as you were speaking, you brought me down memory lane, Jonny, because I had a previous relationship with, one of my partners. She was a manager at a day spa, and we both started doing urine therapy together. And when she started doing Shivambu, now she's a manager at a day spa, right? So she's used to healthcare, but she's used to beauty care, beautifying herself, all the makeup, all the products, all the toners, the conditioners, the moisturizers, the everything. When she started doing this and she saw the power, she gave away all of it. All of
That's it.
Like her shampoo, her conditioner, her moisturizer, her toner, her cleanser, like she substituted everything for her own water. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You can really use it for anything. You can use it for your hair, for your eyes. Even you can brush your teeth with it, with its urine, and it can regenerate your teeth. So there's many uses for urine, for sure.
Yeah. You know, one of the last things I wanted to ask you before we go, brother, because this has been tremendous. You know, thank you just for all of this wealth of information that is just
Of
a
course, of course.
wellspring within you. The kittens, the
Yeah,
kittens, brother. Can you talk
yeah,
about these kittens that you're doing these handstand push-ups and these kittens are just running around you? I'm like, where are these? Can you
yeah.
talk about your relationship with these cats?
Yeah, I love them. They're at my place in nature. So I have an off-grid home in nature, and there it's full of kittens. You know, we have a female cat, and it just unloads a lot of kittens every single year. So I love taking care of them. You know, when they arrive, and now they're fully grown. Not fully grown, but they're like 6 months old. So they're pretty big already. Those small kittens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they were just
Mhm.
following you around, like they were just with you while you're doing your workouts. You're like, you know, pushing
Yeah.
yourself off the ground and they're just around you. They look like
Mhm.
wonderful companions.
Yeah, yeah, because they do not have a mother. Their mother left early, and now they probably think that I'm their mother, you know? Because I used to feed them with the syringe. I used to give them milk and stuff like that. So they probably think, you know, I'm their mother, and they just follow me everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you learn from them? Like what is one thing that they teach you just being around them naturally?
Yeah, all animals just teach me the same thing. It's uh, it's being trying to be more aware, you know, and just enjoy the present moment. Because if you pay attention, all animals, they just enjoy the present moment. They do not think about the future. They do not think about the past. When I take my dog out to for a walk, you know, my dog just focuses on the present moment,
Mm.
and that's why all animals are just very happy, just because they're not obsessed with what to do in the future, what they did in the past. They're just focused in the now. You know, that's I believe that's the most valuable lesson we can learn from them.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And what a lesson, you know, the power of now. The power of now.
That's it.
So
Hmm.
thank you, brother. Thank you all the way from Greece, all the way
Yes.
from Greece, my man Johnny. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming
Thank
on
you.
here
Thank you.
today and giving such a
Of course.
testimony, giving not only
Hmm.
tools and techniques, but these timeless, ancient wisdom, ancient practices that we are remembering today, coming back into the forefront, coming back into focus, and just recalling our divinity, you know, recalling our infinity, you
Of
know?
course.
So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
thank you for talking today. We really appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, it's my pleasure to always share, you know, my knowledge and my experience basically. So it's really great that we did this live. I hope we can do one more in the future eventually and just continue sharing all the knowledge we've gathered with the masses.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And just for everyone
Mhm.
to know, just one more time, you said it's avatarjohnny.com. Is that where everything is?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Avatar Jonny. So Jonny is Jonny. Okay, so avatarjohnny.com. That's where you will find the free course on urine therapy. That's where you will find a course on fasting that I also have, and the course on the gut cleanse. So yeah, that's pretty much where everything is.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So y'all know where to go. If you haven't followed yet, go ahead and follow. Definitely listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about. He's tested, he's experimented, and he's continuing to learn. He's a student of life, and we
Mhm.
received it, my brother. Can't wait till the next time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
See
See you.
you, brother. Awesome. Awesome.